Welcome back to the kitchen. You were here with Team Mad Rational in the building with your man Twist for Life, author Yves, and introducing for the first time on the podcast my homegirl Bianca.
Hello.
Taking the spot of Mr. Broadcast. Yo, we got a lot to talk about tonight. It's about to be crazy, baby. Woo! Know why that it never gets old. It never gets old.
No.
It's always bananas to me. Shout out to Mike Bass. Once again, I feel like it's a new year, like after the quarantine, even though we still in this 2020
like
thing.
Felt like a year.
Yeah, like
right.
I was locked down for a long time. You know what the craziest thing about being by yourself is? Like when you live alone and you by yourself, the most bananas part of it is when you not alone no more and you have opportunities to not be alone, you then need time alone to process how long you've been alone.
Yep.
You be just like, you know what? I know I've been alone for 3 months by myself, but I don't want to be bothered right now because I need to process.
I need to be alone to deal with being alone.
Right.
Yeah.
Hence why you getting an episode 3 months later on the kitchen, because there's a lot to process. There's a lot that's happened. There's a lot that's happened in the world, right? So we've got coronavirus, we got murder hornets, we got Ebola, we got riots.
24-hour earthquakes in Yellowstone.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Right.
Cristobal.
Cristobal?
Cristobal.
That's like
storm.
We got Trump.
Oh, okay.
We got Trump
That's Spanish
making fun
for
of
Christopher. Cristobal.
We got Trump making fun of people saying can't breathe in the middle of a speech.
Look, Trump is ridiculous. Forget that dude. But anyway, like he tear gas people at a church, man. Whatever. Forget that dude.
For a photo op.
For a photo op. Right.
And, which is so funny because he held it up.
The meme that came out after that was hilarious. It was a bald dude standing in front of a barbershop with Trump's book saying, I thought there was a challenge going around of taking pictures in places we don't go with books we don't read.
Love it.
Yo.
You know, not all heroes wear capes. That's all I'm saying.
Look,
not all heroes wear capes, you know?
I laughed. I had a hearty chuckle after that.
I don't care who you are. This shit's funny.
It is. But look, you know, with all of this stuff that's going on, there's a lot of trauma that's in our communities. All the communities right now, there's a lot of trauma for different reasons, right? And I think all of that trauma needs to be recognized. Be like, hey, look, we feel what you're going through here. Team Mad Rational, we're going through it with you. And you know what? We love you through it. And if you're not empathetic to the way people feel, forget you. That's how I feel. Anyway, moving right along.
On this episode of Mad Rational.
On this episode of, you know, Mad Black People.
Diary of a Mad Black Person.
Look, it's not so much like that we're angry. But it's the fact that when someone is telling you they feel oppressed and you respond with, but there's a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like instead of going, hey, why do you feel that way?
Yeah.
You say, well, but it's happening to other people. But we're not talking about other people.
We're talking about me.
We're talking about me. What you mean?
You know, I love the fact that people are like, but all lives. And I'm just like...
Nobody ever said that everybody else doesn't matter. All we said is right now, we're bringing attention to the fact that at a disproportionate rate, black people are being killed. Also, we're bringing attention to the fact that it seems like we don't matter in the eyes of the system that was put in place and said it was going to protect us.
True.
You know,
I think I've seen this said a couple of times. The whole 100 sheep. The shepherd had 100 sheep. One got lost. He went and got the one. He left the 99 to go get the one. And that's what I feel like that kind of encompasses this entire movement, this entire situation. It's not that the 99 don't matter. It's the fact that the 1 matters just as much as the 99. So I still got to go get that 1. I still have to go and save that 1. And just so happens in this case, we as Black, brown people of color, we are that 1. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, maybe because I'm Black, been Black all my life, didn't wake up Black today. I was Black yesterday. I'm going to be Black tomorrow. I don't understand how people don't see it. Yeah. I don't understand how people can say, but the 99 aren't in danger. We are. Mm-hmm. The 1 is.
Right. You know, it's like that works when you're talking about like cooking recipes, you know. Mm-hmm. It works when you're talking about, buying items for your business, but it doesn't work when you're talking about people. You know, when you say, oh, because there's more of these people, those people are more proportionate. When you're talking about people, like that doesn't work. And let's not get it twisted. That's not what anybody's calling for. Nobody's calling attention to say, hey, Black people are more important. What we're calling attention to is the fact that, hey, we're just as important as the other people.
Amen.
Treat us the same, you know? And it's really, really hard to get that point across. Like, I had a discussion, like, earlier, like, right on Facebook, but somebody asked, why the KKK isn't a terrorist group. A response was, well, why is Black Lives Matter not a terrorist group? And I'm like, wait, what? Right? Not understanding that I understand the legal reason as to why the KKK is not a terrorist group. I get that, right? However, the comparison tells me that you don't understand either thing. You don't understand the organization or the movement. So it's like, why are you talking out of ignorance? Go read something. And like, we waste time having conversations with ignorant people and educating ignorant people when the answers are right there in a book for you, versus having conversations with intelligent people that want to solve problems in their communities.
Yeah.
Right? Because the truth of the matter is, if we can sit down and have an honest conversation, right, where the oppressed can say they feel oppressed, and the person that they view as the oppressor goes, I never meant for you to feel oppressed. How can we fix this? Right? And
actually go through with fixing it.
Right.
Yes.
Right. You know what I'm saying? That's how change is made. But defending your point of view in the eyes of someone who says they feel oppressed, all it does is infuriate people. And then people get to the point where they're like, you know what? Words don't work anymore. Now I feel like I need to throw a chair. Now I feel like I need to throw a brick, right? And sometimes it's metaphorical, but then sometimes it becomes literal because you've been talking so much for so long.
Well, love that comes from people not wanting to be wrong. You know? It doesn't matter if it's correct or not. I just need to be right. Doesn't matter if it's correct.
Right.
I have to be right. And what I know is right is that all people are equal and nobody is oppressed and there is no oppression, and any type of anything that anyone feels, it's brought on by themselves and it's their fault, because I was taught that you have to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and that's how this country is run, and this country is run on fairness. And so the moment that anyone combats that, it's automatically, no, you're wrong, I am right. It doesn't matter what's correct.
All that works if you have boots.
Hey.
Just
because Martin Luther King is the shit.
Yeah. But, it's real rough to have the real conversation is my point. Like, I've been trying. I'm wearing myself down, wearing myself thin, like talking.
But it's a lot of talking on social media. It's a lot of talking on Facebook, on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Very little on Instagram, but maybe on Instagram, maybe on Snapchat.
Yeah.
A conversation does not happen on social media.
No,
but it can start there.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I feel it does start.
I don't think it belongs there.
No. Jesus.
I don't think the conversation belongs there. I think I think having the conversation somewhere else and putting it there, that makes sense. But having the conversation on Facebook, on Twitter, you don't, there's so much more to communication that happens right here where you can see one another and you can
hear the intonation and feel it. Yeah.
Feel it.
Here's why I say it starts on there, because when somebody makes a post and they say how they feel, right? Without provocation, you've now got an insider view onto how that person thinks, right? And if you care enough about that person, then you can go about actually starting a conversation based on that that comment or post, whatever it was that they did, you know. And that's where I see, like, if I'm just in my space all the time without social media and I'm walking around talking to people around here, like, you can put yourself in a box where there are no issues, right? I can surround myself with people like you guys, right? And there are no issues, right? Until an issue happens. And then by the time that issue happens, the person that I have the issue with has also been in a box. Right? And they don't see anything wrong with the actions they take, which is why I love the idea of social media. I don't like the execution of it, but I love the idea of social media because then I can see it budding early on. I can see the way you think, and I'm like, you know what? This needs to be addressed because I care about you.
Yeah.
Right? But or this needs to be addressed because I care about my community and you have influence in that.
I do agree with you. I do think that social media is a good way to plant the seed of new thought. Not exactly cultivated, because I do think the cultivation starts here. But I do think that social media is the perfect place to plant a seed.
Yeah, no, 100%. When I say conversation, I mean a back and forth.
Yeah.
Because sharing how you feel isn't a conversation.
No.
Putting those ideas out there, I believe, is extremely important. I'm not harking on that at all. I'm saying if somebody responds in some way, if somebody has any kind of response to what you're saying that deserves a conversation, to follow that conversation on Facebook, on Twitter, is, I believe, a waste of time. I think there is a place for it, but I think in the grander scheme of things, it's a lot of energy being put into something that doesn't have the same viscosity, the same level of necessity as a conversation does in person. So that's because we have this conversation frequently, that you will get into these conversations online, which are great. I mean, the conversations are great, but you'll feel tired and worn down afterwards. Or you'll get angry about them, or you'll get disheartened.
Most of the conversations that I will end up having online and end up being tiresome are, I will jump to the aid of someone that I believe can't verbalize what they know as truth. Because a lot of times it'll be it'll be white people online that are standing up and saying, no, we have to stop the injustice. They don't have the conversation enough to have the language and the skill to combat some of the other negative comments that are coming. And so,
but they do realize that beyond color lines, wrong is wrong.
Right. And so I come in and I'm like, no, I'm thank you for standing with me. So now I'm gonna stand with you here. Right. And I'm gonna put my foot down and I'm gonna take the time and I'm gonna write this out for whoever this is. If they're trolling, I'm gonna troll them back. And I promise you I troll harder than you.
Oh my God. He's let me see some of that shit. It's ridiculous.
Right. Like, I'm gonna troll you back. If I just know you're an idiot, I'm gonna call you an idiot. If you're stupid, I'm gonna call you on it. And I used to not do that. Like, I used to not just call people to their face, but I'm at a point now where we have to be blunt so we can just move past this and not go 12 rounds, for no reason. Like, if you're ignorant, you're ignorant. Do you want to be ignorant? If you don't, we can talk and we can educate, right? Privately.
And if you want to be
ignorant, cool. I'm just about to troll you for a couple more comments and then I'm out. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. Because at some point I have to have a little fun, whatever.
I feel you. If you're gonna have a headache by the end of this, you might as well just have some fun.
I might as well have some fun, right? But getting down to the nitty gritty of what is bringing on this level of bluntness, for lack of better words, is the blatant murder. We all saw it online, a video of George Floyd getting murdered. That doesn't take away anything from Breonna Taylor. It doesn't take away anything from the other people that have recently been killed unjustly. The black people that have been killed unjustly. It's just, this was the proverbial straw in the camel's back, that it broke everything within us as a people, as a culture, and it made people that didn't normally speak out publicly to begin to speak out publicly. It made other people that weren't part of the community that was speaking out go, yo, there really is an issue. We really got to stop this craziness, stop the nonsense, And I'm not here to clarify any messages. I'm not here to make anybody feel better about it. What I'm here to do is facilitate conversations about it. So I said all of that to say this. Coming up in an episode after this, we're going to have a roundtable discussion. It's going to be crazy. There's going to be people of multiple backgrounds. It's going to be a real conversation that we have with real people in our community that I know personally, that I see and respect, from multiple different backgrounds that do not have the same beliefs. And we're going to talk, and we are going to facilitate, as Team Mad Rational, facilitate that conversation and allow you to see what that looks like when educated people come together, put their heads together, and only want to see their community be better. And I think it's going to be dope, right? And that's why I brought all that up.
I really love the fact that you were saying that it's people from different backgrounds. Yeah. Because the one thing that I do like to see is, in this case, we'll just use this case for an example, I do like to see white and black actually find some kind of way to find that middle ground, to ebb out or edge out that middle ground. Yeah.
We're gonna have white, black, gay, straight. It's gonna be everything.
Love it.
Vet, not vet, whatever, all of it. We got all of it. Yeah. And we just talk. We're gonna talk. And my goal is to build a bond between these people that are
different.
Yeah, different.
Fundamentally different.
I mean, they wouldn't be people in my life if they weren't good people. So,
just because you're different doesn't mean you're bad.
No. Also, just because you're Republican doesn't mean I don't like you.
Amen.
I just want people to know that, because I think sometimes that gets misconstrued.
I think that's a big part of. I think this what we see right now is a culmination of a whole lot of things happening all at once.
Yeah,
it's the tribalization that our current president has kind of pushed, this very deliberate splitting of tribes, and then kind of the fostering of this cheerleading of your team. Then we've got coronavirus. We've got people who would normally be busy with work and life.
They're no longer
stuck
busy.
Indoors.
Yeah.
Following the news and following, social media and following one another, and building up all this energy that had nowhere else to go.
Right.
And then we've had the very visible death of Mr. Floyd, that just kind of sparked it all off.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fear. It's a lot of anger, and fully justified fear and anger. That's got emotions going, and got a very real problem that we're all seeing out in the open. Yeah. It's not the first time, and the optimist in me wants to say that this is going to be it. This is going to be the one that we need. And the pessimist in me says we've been here before. I see a lot of the same things happening.
Right. Yeah. What has to be different this time is the follow through.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's got to be the follow through, and to define what that follow through is. And sometimes I believe we talk about the follow through, but we never make it clear. Here's the follow through. The follow through is, after this, the leadership has to change. The leadership in the country, the leadership in your cities, the leadership in your courts, the leadership in your police stations, the leadership in your fire department. That has to change for the better.
Yeah.
You know, we cannot continue to have the same mindset in place and expect there to be a systemic change. It won't happen.
Yeah.
It won't happen.
I've been in several conversations lately where, I mean, we've been talking about the protests and the very relatively few riots that have come up. And so when we talk about protests, so often the conversation turns to riots, and which just muddies the conversation, because that shouldn't be part of the conversation. That doesn't, I mean, it's relevant and it should be talked about, but that isn't the basis of this conversation. Mm-hmm. The basis of this conversation is we need these people who are out there protesting to also vote once a year. We need them to take part in the city mechanics. The system isn't perfect, but it's not broken. It works if we use it. It works if we're not just out protesting and then we go back home and we go back to our jobs and we go back to our clubs and we go back to our bars and we go back to video games and whatever life has to happen. We need to go back and actually be a part of the system. We need to, like I said, we need to vote once a year. We need to be part of city council meetings, local level, state level, and federal level. We need to not only just government, but we need folks of color to be in the fire department and the police department and the hospitals. We need all these people who are feeling this way to also turn their life into this.
Yeah.
Make their life this.
What I wanted to add when people bring up the rioters or the looters, right? I saw this post and I had to screenshot it, and if you post it online, I'm gonna steal it and put it in my phone. I'm not gonna repost it, but it's gonna be on my phone and somebody's gonna get a text message with it. However, it says, if a small percentage of looting rioters discredits the entire movement, then what does a small percentage of bad cops do?
Yeah.
You know, I would really love to see more cops speak out.
Yeah.
You know, they're always saying that, well, it's one or two bad apples. Well, I don't see anybody coming forth saying, like, I am a cop and we don't we're going to whoop your ass,
I think there's a lot. I think a whole lot of police officers have come out. Up until, regrettably, yesterday, the New Orleans PD has been very positive about this. And I think even today, they've been very positive about this. I think yesterday was a very regrettable situation that came up, and I don't see faults in it in the NOPD on this case, and I don't know if that's worth even bringing up in the conversation, but I think
it's worth bringing up the fact that New Orleans, with some of the most militant population in the U.S., has had some of the most peaceful protests to happen. You know what I mean? And if there's a situation, absolutely. If there's a situation that pops off, you know what I mean, from the peaceful protest, it's part of the equation. Mm-hmm. That something bad may transpire, and that's part of the risk when you go out there. But I have to give hats off to New Orleans and the leadership that's in New Orleans.
All right, cousin.
Yeah.
Yes, cousin. Absolutely. See, I told y'all we know how to go somewhere and act right.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Y'all so stupid.
Yes. I told you we know how to go somewhere and act right. Mm-hmm.
But nah, real talk. Like it's been great to see. It's been great to see people protesting on the I-10, and then the police officers taking a knee in solidarity with the protesters. That's been amazing.
And having a conversation.
Having conversations, yes.
Yes, yes. That I was so proud of both the protesters and the cops. They took a knee, yes, but there was conversation going forth.
Yeah.
And I had to give it up, man.
Yeah.
Go Cousins. I love y'all.
I think
Hey, my cousins. All
it's-
they y'all.
all of these people are human beings, which means as any group of people, there is the evil within human, and that
Of
shows
course.
up everywhere. And I think one of the things we need to remember is that we are all. It's a we thing. It's not a us and them thing. I've seen a lot of posts on Instagram that's like, if you're not with us, you're against us. That's not how we need to be talking about this. We need to be talking about you're either with us or you don't understand.
Yeah.
And we should help you understand. This isn't like we're gonna force you to.
This is. Did you see my post where I posted something similar to that? Where so what I said, and I was trying to be as clear as possible about it, right? Either you're with us to have this conversation, right, or get out of our way while we make noise until we find someone who is. You know what I mean? And that's because that's what it's all about. We're trying to find people that will have the conversation, right? If all you're doing here is just, trying to pour gasoline on fires, move.
Right.
We don't need you here. We don't need you trolling and nothing like that. You want to have a real conversation? Let's have a real conversation.
You know what clicked off in my head when you said that? A hit dog will holler. We've been hit. We've been hit. I know that it sounds really crazy, but a hit dog will holler. We're making noise because we've been hit.
Well, that, and it's not just once.
Right.
It's not just once. And the breakdown of it is like this, right? Because it's based in trauma. And I'm not the psychologist, so I'm not going to break down trauma or anything like that. But it is. And when you grow up as a young black man, there's a conversation you have with your father that tells you, hey, look, you have to dress like this, you got to talk like this, and you got to be respectful to police because the consequence of not doing these things could be you lose your life. And it's a conversation we have with our dads at a very young age. Then you go to school, right? And you find that the people that look like the people that your dad was telling you about that might be the end of you are in your history books that you're learning about that you're learning about abusing, murdering, and raping people that look like you. Right? And you go through years and years of learning this stuff, everything about slavery and all of the oppression that surrounds it. You go through seeing the civil rights movement. You see more images of people that look like the people that your dad was talking about, that also look like the people that was raping, murdering, and enslaving the people that look like you, right? Doing the same things to people that look like you in that book. Then when you get out of school, you have an incident where people who look like the people that your dad was talking about, that look like the people that was raping and murdering, that look like the people that was water hosing the people in the history books in the civil rights movement, are now harassing you over nothing. Over nothing, right? It's happened to me so many times, I can't even count all the situations, how many times it's happened to. And people that know me and like know who I am and talk to me on a regular basis can't believe that I've gone through that, right? They think it's isolated. No, I've gone through it multiple times.
Oh yeah.
And we get these images and images and images, and then what happens is we get the experience that solidifies the images and makes it true, right? But then something else happens. Society tells you that that's a lie. As you've been taught it twice, and then you experience it, and then they tell you, well, no, you've got to separate this from this. That's not how it is now. But I keep having experiences that tell me that not much has changed, right? And we have to go through life and walk with that truth every day, day after day, right? And try to discern, who's trying to do you harm and who's not. And if you don't understand what that's like, when you see flashing lights that come up behind you and your heart stops and you feel like, I hope today's not the day I die. Like, that's a real thought that I've had so many times when I see police and if I see the flashing lights, my heart stops. If you don't know what that's like, then you can't identify with what we are talking about, right? You don't understand 400 years of slavery and oppression, and then now in the year 2020, and we've got all this technology, we've solved all kinds of issues, we've put a man on the moon, but yet the color of my skin still dictates the way I'm treated and the opportunities that I have presented before me. It's nonsense.
Oh, honey, I don't even need the lights. If a cop stays behind me too long, I will go into a panic attack. I will go into one, period. I will have to pull over. I will go into one if a cop stays behind me too long.
Yeah.
There's no...
Yeah, you start to depend, like, I need to make moves. I need to get out the way.
Get out the way, let you go head on.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's how we've been programmed, is what I'm going to say.
And you know, on the other side of that, I've had good encounters with police officers too. It's, you know, one or two, but I have.
But once again, it's 50-50. So that fear is still there.
I've
had great encounters with police officers.
Yeah.
But that 50-50, I mean, are you willing to 50-50 your life?
Right. It's like
I'm just sitting here listening because I've never had those experiences. Even from the beginning where you talked about your father sitting you down, and my father sat me down and said, you're not the same. And my life has kind of supported that. I don't feel that way when I see a police officer. I don't feel that stress. And so I think it was when I was driving with you and you had to explain it to me. I was like, that's real. Never felt that, but like I see it in you. I see it in your eyes. I see it in your body language. You're really feeling this. And there was no judgment. I think in the way that you responded, you explained it to me in a way that was like, yeah, this is something that I think a lot of people that look like us go through. And
y'all got some different ones. My mom used to tell me all the time, you already got 3 strikes against you.
Yeah.
You're black, you're a woman, and you're poor.
And you know what? None of those things should be a factor in your life.
But they are.
I know. I'm just saying they shouldn't. And that's what we're fighting for. That's why we say Black Lives Matter. Because of statements like that, where like it shouldn't be true, but it's true. Shouldn't be, but it is. You know, and you know, let's pull ourselves out of the deep dark hole of that, because the more you dwell on it, the more, you know, like emotion is behind it, and you know, part of this I'm holding back some other thoughts. You know what I mean? I may share with you guys at some point, but I'm not right now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to the next cut. Yes.
I mean,
I don't want you to cry. You look like you're about to cry. Please stop, because I'm about to cry.
Nah, we good.
Shush.
We good.
Shush.
I think that's what the kitchen is for, though. I think that's if you got something to share, you shouldn't feel the need to hold it back. I understand there's also like another time for this.
Yeah.
But I think that'll be.
I will be on the floor in a minute.
I think that'll be a good time for that.
Well, that'll be story time later.
It's all about them songs.
But anyway, there was a whole nother purpose to this podcast. I wasn't even supposed to talk about any of this tonight. However,
that's what came up.
It happens. Sometimes you just be in the kitchen, you be cooking up ideas, and next thing you know, you be like, oh, snap, and I stirred a whole pot of craziness. But anyway,
right. I put some curry powder in my ground beef and made a meatloaf with it.
How your toilet felt?
Oh my God. I don't know about my toilet. I know my mouth and my stomach felt amazing.
Oh man.
Oh, my mouth and my stomach, it was great. I had some cheese on the top of it too.
Cheese. I haven't had like cheese in a minute.
That's because your ass be dieting and shit.
And it don't be working. You see this?
You look good. No, but you have lost some weight though. You look good. You look good.
I look like quarantine right now.
I mean, no, you're not. No, you don't.
I mean, we all kind of do though. Let's be real. It's been.
Yeah. Come on.
I mean, you look really good. You look real good.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You know, I'm over here trying to make healthy choices and it's not quite working.
Because I know if I was looking real fat, you'd be like, nah, brother, you looking fat.
I would.
You would.
Because I love you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's all. Because I love you.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't, so you don't have to worry about that.
What? I don't. Oh, I don't. I don't look
look-
bad. Oh, I thought you were about to say I don't love
I mean,
me.
you-
No, I
I mean-
love me. What
I
you
mean-
mean I love me?
I mean, you do look fat. You know, PHAT.
Wow. We back in 2002. All right.
Right? Like it was like.
Pretty hot and tempting. Get it.
Oh man.
PYT, pretty young thing.
That's my ringtone on my phone, though. Y'all don't understand. That's my song. That's been my ringtone on my phone for like 10 years.
But you always been a Mike fan, though.
Absolutely. Shoot. Okay, look. Okay, so the whole reason we was gonna have this podcast and we wanted to talk to y'all. We wanted to talk to y'all about all this crazy quarantine music that's coming out,
Bruh.
That's been coming out. Now, I will be the first one to tell you I've been stuck in my bubble and I haven't listened to a lot of it. However, there's been a few that have made their way to the surface.
Just bubbled up and popped, huh?
Right. And made me do the half smile, large eye. What? Huh?
What's the first on the list?
I don't know. It don't matter. Put one up.
All right. Show me that footwork.
I ain't gonna lie to you though. Like I heard this song and I was in my house killing it.
Just because you stuck in that house don't mean that you can't.
Show me that footwork.
I'm positive my neighbor was like, if this big giant don't stop stomping on my ceiling.
Shamarr Allen, Quarantine and Chill.
This is probably one of my favorite quarantine tracks. Probably like my number 2.
So they for sure needed to get you in that studio
Really?
to clean up the levels a little bit. But
Yeah. Hey.
as a piece, it's good.
That art is good, though. Those are some very good, very well done rolls of toilet tissue.
I brought a second line to your living room. I'm trying to put it in your system. Cause them second line Sundays I miss some.
Video's well done.
Second line Sundays I live for.
We're gonna say the rest for people to go out and find themselves. But,
Yeah, because it's dope. Like you got to see the video.
Yeah, the videos.
You got to see the video. Like
Very well
it's
done.
real. Like people in front of their houses in the streets. It's crazy, y'all. Y'all got to see it.
what you
I need
think
to get
about
me
it?
one of them umbrellas.
Oh, this is definitely a trophy right here. If I had to judge it, if we was doing cut of the week, this one would definitely get the trophy.
So which one
Let's
is
give
the
it the
cut of the
treatment.
week?
Let's give it the
So
treatment.
which one is the cut of the week?
Are we want to give it the whole treatment?
Let's give it the whole treatment. Each one. I mean, we're not gonna. We don't need to discuss it anymore. I think let's just give it a little.
A little love.
Yeah.
Okay. So for those of y'all who have never been a part of our cut of the week, okay. So what the cut of the week is when we play a track, we talk about it, and we discuss all aspects of it, and we vote on it. Trash or trophy, right? And so we'll give the quarantine tracks the cut of the week treatment, even though this is more cuts of the months. You know what I mean?
True.
But like, yeah, let's give it the treatment. So I'm definitely going with trophy on this one. Where you at, Art?
I'll give it a trophy. I like it.
Trophy, of course.
All right. So Quarantine and Chill by Shamarr Allen definitely gets a trophy on the cut of the week.
Monthly slice.
I don't know
if
what he's
that's
doing with
you
that
wanna
umbrella,
call
but
it.
that was wild. Anyway,
Monthly slice, if that's
on-
what you want to call it.
To the next.
the monthly slice.
The monthly slice.
Yo,
1, 2, 3.
you got them squirts for the low.
I got them squirts for the low. I got them squirts for the low. Corona, D1. Look, where Italy at, USA at, Canada, China.
Is this that Christian guy?
Corona clap.
D1?
Just that
Yeah.
Corona clap.
I don't know if he.
I said
He's
I'm
Christian,
trying to stay safe.
I think, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, he might be. I don't know if he's classified as a Christian rapper.
To breathe. Don't wash your hands, you might catch it. Wore it and you stuck. Right
'Cause
now,
this is the same guy that did, Saturday Night.
$15. I'm trying to quarantine myself.
Saturday
I'm
Night.
staying inside. The NBA canceled on me, man.
So
I'm
wait, what?
feeling deprived.
This is the
I'm
same
out of
guy
toilet
that did
paper,
that
but
Sally
they ain't
Mae
got
song.
none in the stove. Man, that Corona,
Oh, did he?
wow, you can't wipe your
I heard this and I was like, oh wow. But okay, so okay, hold on. Turn it down a little bit because
Hold on.
here's the jewel of this track.
Talk to me.
You got to listen all the way to the end. We're not gonna play it all the way to the end, but you got to find this track and listen all the way to the end to get you got to get the buried treasure in the back of the song because it's hilarious. In my mind, it's hilarious.
Well,
It's
fast forward it
serious.
for me.
No,
Oh.
no, absolutely not. You got to go listen to it.
Well, now I know how you feel when you don't be listening to songs I send you.
Okay, look, you got to realize I get so much music sent to me because people like, oh, Brandon likes music. Let's send Brandon all the music.
That's true. That's
It's
true.
like,
That is
my
so true.
inbox be full of music. People like, oh, have you heard this? Have you heard this? Have you heard this? It's like, hold on, no, I haven't heard any of it, and I didn't want to.
I get you. I get you.
You know,
It's
so
okay.
It doesn't have anything to do with you. It's just so much music that I just be like, I'm still listening to this song I'm working on 300 times.
I absolutely understand. I do.
But look, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell next to the subscribe button so you get the notification when we drop the video. Also, if you're listening on our audio podcast, on Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast channel, make sure you hit us with that 5-star rating so we know that you like the show and we give you more what you like. All right? We out, y'all.
Hi.
So there's this one time I was at a party in college. And this sorority girl stood up on a table and she asked everybody at the party to pee on her.
What?
And I was like, word? And she was like, yep, I'm totally serious. Now that girl's a lawyer in the city I left. It's pretty cool that she's a lawyer, even after publicly going to a party and asking people to pee on her. Don't give up your dreams.
Don't give up your dreams. I sure won't.